Last week, a new Muppets show premiered on Disney Plus called Muppets Mayhem. Now, for me, Disney's Muppets projects as of late have been kind of hit or miss. The movie that came out in 2011 I thought was fantastic. It's probably the best Muppets movie ever. Muppets Most Wanted was good, but it took too much influence from Great Muppet Caper. The 2015 ABC show, we don't need to talk about that. And Muppets Now on Disney Plus that came out a couple years ago, I didn't think was that great. I thought it was a little boring, thought it was slightly cringy, thought it was trying too hard. But the Muppets Haunted Mansion special that came out a couple years ago, that started to give me hope of the brand again. And this new Muppet Mayhem show on Disney Plus is a delight. Now, I was skeptical if a show focusing on the band from the Muppet Show would work, because after all, the Electric Mayhem are supporting characters. Would they really be able to carry their own show? Because usually when you take a supporting character and you make it the main character, it doesn't work. But in this case, it actually surprisingly does. It's hilarious. The celebrity cameos, the callbacks to previous Muppets projects, and its meta-humor all feel very in line with what Muppets was like in its golden age. It's witty, it's self-aware, and it's fun. And if you're a fan of classic rock or just music in general, there's a lot to appreciate, because this show has everybody. Weird Al, Sophia Carson, Deadmau5, Ryan Seacrest, Kesha, the guy from Honest Trailers, many more stars, and each of them give hilarious performances even in their limited screen time. As great as the show is, though, I do have a couple of problems with it. For one, it focuses a bit too much on the human characters, at least for the first half. That wouldn't necessarily be a problem, except the main human characters aren't that interesting, and their performances at times feel very phoned in. Another issue is it has a very similar plot to the 2011 movie, except instead of getting the Muppets together to save a theater, it's getting the Electric Mayhem together to make one last album. They've gone their separate ways, they need to reunite, they have to make an album by a certain deadline in order to get their contract. You've seen this before. There's also quite a few narrative cliches, such as Light Revealed, and a few soap opera-style comical misunderstandings, and also, surprisingly, there's quite a few drug references. Now, I know the Electric Mayhem are supposed to be hippies, but this is a Disney project, and the Muppets in general are a pretty family-friendly brand. Yeah, they have adult humor on occasion, but when they do that, it's more references to the celebrities or the self-aware humor, stuff that kids won't get, not drug references. That was a little surprising and kind of disappointing. And also, the last couple episodes, you can tell that's kind of where they started to run out of steam. They feel like they're trying a bit too hard to be modern, and they spend a lot of time focusing on what's popular now, such as TikTok or Minecraft, and those parts feel a lot more like commercials, which is not what Muppets should be. Muppets should feel timeless. There's a reason they've been popular for 50 years, and even in projects that actually were commercials, like the Muppets Haunted Mansion special, that still felt like its own thing. So because of that, this show is going to feel a bit more dated than some of the other projects. Ironically, the older Muppets projects feel less dated than these new ones. The Muppet Show and a lot of the older Muppet movies, they're still just as good now as they were 50 years ago. This show, however, probably not going to feel as relevant in 5 years. Overall, though, this show had more or less what I expect Muppets to be. It had self-aware humor, sharp writing, and a lot of heart. This is the first Muppets project since Muppets Haunted Mansion, where by the end I thought, Jim would be proud of this. Not, oh my word, what have they done? What were they thinking? Jim Henson is rolling in his grave. It's a bit of a rough road at the beginning, but by the end it led to a satisfying, heartwarming conclusion. Now, just to give an idea of what to expect, this is an Electric Mayhem-focused show. None of the main characters like Kermit, Fozzie, Miss Piggy, or Gonzo show up. Not even as cameos. If you're waiting for that, you're going to be disappointed. So just know that going in, this is an Electric Mayhem-focused show, and it's pretty much just them. There's one or two cameos from other minor Muppets characters near the end that I won't spoil, but you're not going to see any of the main cast here. But the Electric Mayhem brings so much energy to the show, you don't really notice the absence of the other main characters. This is certainly one of the better Muppets projects in a long time, and I hope they keep this momentum moving right along. Muppets Mayhem for me gets a B, 8 out of 10, and 4 out of 5 stars.